Okay, so are you ready to go deep on some lyrics today?
Always up for a good lyrical deep dive.
Yeah, this time it's just like heaven.
Ah, the Cure classic.
Exactly, those 80s icons. And um, everyone knows that song, like that music is so iconic. But today we're going to focus on the lyrics and kind of what makes those stick with you.
Yeah, I mean, music is obviously one thing, but the lyrics are kind of like that direct line into like the emotion of the song and like all the potential meanings and symbolisms behind it.
Totally. And I feel like, um, especially with a song like this, there's so much to unpack.
Oh yeah, definitely a whirlwind of
Like
emotions.
right from the start, you get that like playful energy, right? Show me how you do that trick, the one that makes me scream and laugh. Like, what is that trick?
Yeah, it's like, is it like a literal, like a magic trick or like some game they're playing, or is it a metaphor for something else? I mean, especially when you hear like, I promise I'll run away with you, like right after that, it kind of gives you that sense of like the intoxicating power of love, just that desire to like escape everything and just be together.
Totally. And you're so right. It does have that like hopeful, like energetic vibe,
Yeah.
but then it kind of shifts,
Yeah.
like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's this like distance. She's asking, why are you so far away? Like that connection they had is like strained.
It's like that feeling of longing, like, you're reaching out and the other person isn't quite there, or like, they're not understanding you. And it's like, especially in love, like we all know how complicated that can be.
Exactly. And then that whole you section, soft and only, lost and lonely, strange as angels, so dreamy.
It's like a whole dream
It
sequence.
is.
Like, just with all that imagery, the angels, the
It's
ocean.
so evocative.
Yeah. And like, thinking about angels, like, what do they represent? It's like purity, but it's also something otherworldly, almost untouchable.
Right. Like you can't quite grasp it.
Yeah. And then you get the dancing in the deepest ocean.
Oh, yeah.
And like oceans are so vast and mysterious. It's like the depths of our subconscious. Like maybe the singer's trying to reach for something or someone that's just out of reach.
Totally. And even like musically, the song is kind of pulling you under at that point too.
Absolutely.
That bass line, so simple,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like hypnotic and the guitar just kind of like shimmers over it. It's like it's mimicking that dreamy vibe.
It really is working in perfect harmony with the lyrics, and
Yeah.
then it's like you're just floating in this dreamlike state, and then bam,
Reality hits.
daylight licked me into shape. I must have been asleep.
It's such a shift.
Such a stark
It's
contrast.
almost violent.
Yeah, and especially that line, like, alone above a raging sea. Like, wow, talk about a change in tone.
Right. And what do you think that means, like that raging sea?
I mean, you could see it as like that transition, from this blissful, maybe even imagined state to the harshness of reality.
Okay.
And like the sea, so powerful, so turbulent, it could represent just those overwhelming emotions, like grief and loss.
That makes a lot of sense. And then we go back to that you section again, but this time it ends with just like heaven.
Full circle.
But now it feels like heaven means something different.
Totally. Like at the beginning, it was that like euphoric new love, that feeling of escape.
Right, right.
But now it's like colored by that loss. Maybe it's more about memory.
Like those moments that are beautiful and happy, but also kind of tinged with sadness.
Yeah, exactly.
So is this song about love, loss, like the way memories can be heavenly, but also haunting?
I think it's all of that. It doesn't give us easy answers.
And that's what makes it so good,
It's
right?
totally, and I think that's why people connect to it so much. It's open to our own interpretations, like we bring our own experiences to it.
Exactly. And so I guess the question for everyone listening is, what do you think that trick is?
Yeah, what does just like heaven mean to you?
Let the music wash over you and see what new layers you discover. Because honestly, with a song like this, the exploration never really ends.
It's a journey,
It really is.
and a beautiful one.
Definitely.